In section 4.5, we're going to be graphing in standard form. Now, standard form is your new key idea. It's a new formula that you have to memorize in addition to slope-intercept form. The key idea states this, so make sure you write this down. Standard form of a linear equation. The standard form of a linear equation is this. ax plus by equals c. A, b, and c are numbers. So a, these are all coefficients. So a is a coefficient of x, b is a coefficient of y, and c is just a constant. So this could be 5x plus 2y equals 7. Negative 3x minus 2y equals 5. Now a and b, though, cannot be 0. So let me give you an example. We'll write it down, of an equation in standard form. Negative 2x plus 3y equals negative 6. In this equation, we have your x term first, then your y term equals your constant. Therefore, this is in standard form. So in this section, what you're going to learn is a third way to graph. You guys have already graphed using t-tables. You've graphed using solving for y, slope-intercept form, and then solving using slope and y-intercept. But now you're going to graph using intercepts. And by that means, you're going to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So you're actually going to do two steps and then graph using intercepts. Intercepts is most likely easiest to be used with standard form. So we're going to take the problem that you just wrote down. This is going to be example number 1. Negative 2x plus 3y equals negative 6. This is in standard form. So we're going to use intercepts, because if you wanted to use slope-intercept form, you'd actually have to get the y by itself and then go from there. So here's what we need to do. I need to find the x-intercept, and I need to find the y-intercept. So right here in our first bullet, it says to find the x-intercept, plug in 0 for y. So I'm going to take the equation, and I'm just going to plug in 0 for y. Here's the easy part. That term disappears. 3 times 0 is 0. So my equation is just negative 2x equals negative 6. That's it. Divide both sides by negative 2. X equals 3. So my x-intercept is 3. Now the second bullet says to find the y-intercept, plug in 0 for x. So now I take my equation and I plug in 0 for x. So once again, negative 2 times 0, that's gone. So my equation is just 3y equals negative 6. Divide by 3, y equals negative 2. So what does this mean? My x and y intercepts are 3 and negative 2. That's where they cross the y and x axis. So all you do is you graph. I have an x-intercept of 3, so my x-axis has to go to 3. And my y-intercept is negative 2, so I have to go down to negative 2. So my x-intercept is 3, 1, 2, 3. My y-intercept is negative 2, negative 1, negative 2. So my x-intercept, that's where it crosses the x-axis, is 3. My y-intercept is negative 2, that's where it crosses the y-axis. And I draw a line through the points, and that's how you graph using intercepts. So in example 2, we have the equation 2x plus y equals 5. This is in standard form. So I want to find the x-intercept and y-intercept. So all I do is plug in 0 for x, plug in 0 for y. So to find the x-intercept, I plug in 0 for y. That's gone. So my equation is 2x equals 5. Divide by 2. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5 or 2.5. Then I plug in, so my x-intercept is 2.5. To find my y-intercept, I plug in 0 for x. You plug it in for the opposite letter. plus y equals 5. 2 times 0 is 0, so y just equals 5. So my y-intercept is 5. If you graph this, I have an x-intercept of 2.5, so I have to go to 2.5 on my x-axis. And on my y-axis, I have to go to 5. So x, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On my y, so I graph 2.5 is my x-intercept. My y-intercept is 5. And that would be your graph. Example number 3. Now before you look at it, it looks difficult just by the amount of words. I promise you these are really easy. Number 3. You have $6 to spend on a total of apples and bananas. Bananas cost 60 cents per pound, and apples cost $1.50 per pound. A. You're going to graph an equation where x is the number of pounds of apples and y is the number of pounds of bananas. And then you have to interpret the intercepts. So the first, excuse me. The first thing you do is just write an equation. So A, so easy. X is the apples and y is the bananas. So x goes first. How much do apples cost? Apples cost $1.50 per pound. So $1.50 is 1.5x because that's apples. Y is bananas, so plus 60 cents, so that'd be 0.60 or 0.6 y equals a total of what? $6. That's it. What this says is $1.50 per pound of apples plus 60 cents per pound of bananas equals a total of $6. So now we need to graph using intercepts. So what we're going to do is plug in, we're going to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So to find the x-intercept, we plug in 0 for y. So $1.50 x plus 60 cents times 0. Well, 60 cents times 0 is gone. So that's just 1.5x equals 6. Divide both sides by 1.5. And 6 divided by 1.5 is 4. So my x-intercept is 4. Now, to find my y-intercept, I plug in 0 for x. So that's gone. So that'd be 0.6y equals 6. Divide both sides by 0.6 or 60 cents. 6 divided by 0.6 is 10. So my y-intercept is 10. So if you graph this, my x-axis, has to go to 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, your x, this is where you gotta make this quality work. X is the pounds of apples. So x is apples. Y is bananas. And my y-axis has to go to 10, so I'm going to count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So x is 4, my x-intercept is 4, my y-intercept is 10. Now, we can't have negative apples, so it's just and negative bananas, so I just do that. It's a segment or a line connecting the two dots. The last step is to interpret what the intercepts mean. So the x-intercept says 4. Now, if you look at the graph here, this point is 4, 0. We plugged in 0 for y. So that would mean if you bought 4 apples. That's it. 4 apples and no bananas. So the x-intercept means you would buy 4 apples. That would cost you $6. Because remember, the total is $6. The y-intercept, well, look at your y-intercept. Your y-intercept is 10. And that would mean if you bought 10 pounds of bananas. And actually, I just realized then the apples, it's not 4 apples. It'd be 4 pounds of apples. So this would mean, once again, your x-intercept is when you have no bananas, but 4 pounds of apples. Your y-intercept is when you have no apples, but 10 pounds of bananas. And that would cost you $6. So make sure you interpret what your x and y intercepts are when they ask you to on word problems.